Okay, so my kids know that. So I'll say, hey, this is Mark Speckman, he's a running partner of mine. That's cool. Now I might go, hey, hey, this is Michael. He's a friend of mine. Okay, they know Scott likes him, my dad likes him, but he's not too sure if he can trust him with his life yet. But he's a potential running partner. And then we got, let's find somebody secure here. Secure. This is Lisa. She's an acquaintance of mine. My dad knows Lisa will never be a running partner to him. Does that seem cruel? I don't think it's cruel. So this running partner of mine, I was doing a Camp Kemptu football clinic, 4 credit, 3 semester credits at Willow Creek. And it's 5 days, and we're all in these cabins that were kind of like Boy Scout cabins. And there was an eating place, and with you know, it was pretty good. I mean, I brought in football coaches. They go, if you don't like football, just bear with me. But they grind, and they grind, and they're clinicking hard. They're going till 10 o'clock, and then it's going. They're working hard. Professional comedian came in, all that. But one day, this guy that was taking my course, I hear people laughing, and he's in there. I mean, he held the crowd, and he wasn't even employed. I mean, I wasn't paying him anything. And then after that, I go, I got to have this guy speaking. And this guy here is, you know, Coach Merced High. He was a teacher at Merced. He ran an at-risk mentorship program, which we all call at-hope kids now. Okay, because we learned from Rick Miller that we call kids at hope, not at risk. How would you like to be called at risk? He had one of those programs. And then he went on and coached college football. He coached the Canadian Football League. And he's now back at UC Davis. And this is a very special man, and I'm glad to share him with you. Mark Speckman. Thank you.
Scott's an acquaintance of mine. I do, you know, hey, good for you guys. You know, thank you for your service as teachers. And we thank our servicemen and make a big overboard deal on that, but it's good that you guys are teaching. I taught for 17 years in high school and taught in college, and I'm at UC Davis now. We don't teach a class, but we obviously I'm coaching football. I am an ex-high school teacher, taught history. When we made the playoffs, I basically ran a film appreciation course because I was getting ready for the playoffs. But I really enjoyed my time in high school. I never thought I'd do anything different. I am a retired Boy Scout. Just proud of that. Second class, I don't know if you know anything about it. That's pretty high. People laugh at what I'm talking about. I'm the assistant head coach and running back coach at UC Davis. And we have a great program up there. We have a tough schedule this year. We're getting ready to play San Jose State, Stanford, and all the Big Sky teams. So I hope you like football. And I found that people learn best under kind of 3 circumstances. They learn best when they're having fun. They learn best when they're emotional, when someone's tugging at their heartstrings. And they learn best when they're mad. And that's really kind of how people, when you get one of those emotions going, you usually can get something top. If we just walk in here, kill 2 hours, we're just going to kill 2 hours, that's okay. But I took a lot of these courses like you guys did. Not some institute, they weren't as high class as Scott's, but I did an art project. I remember I took a cartooning class. I was a high school teacher, cartooning for bulletin boards. And being a bunch of elementary teachers, my best picture was a pumpkin on a bike. And I kept that for a while. But I got 80 plus credits, so I can keep moving along the pay scale. And I sat through many really good speeches. speeches and writing really bad speeches, and so hopefully we'll be somewhere. Scott brought up the fact that when I first met Scott, he, Scott's always out there, man. He's gonna, we're gonna bowl, we're gonna paint, we're stressed, I'm not stressed anymore. So the first year we were up there, we went on a rafting trip, and it was a fun trip. We had life jackets, and we were floating down the river, and this is also a goal-setting story about the importance of goals. And it was kind of boring. It was just flat water. And every now and then we see an eagle. Well, there's an eagle. And then, there's a bunch of football coaches, so somebody starts splashing. And then somebody started wrestling guys out of the boat. And I tell you what, the cold water was freezing cold. And somebody started splashing me and started pulling. I said, hey, I'm not playing. I just set a goal. I'm not going in the water. That was my goal. And so we kind of, did a fun rafting trip, just down this nice river, splashing away.
I don't remember them.
Oh yeah, well, this is after you left, Scott. So, just a fun group on the river. So again, we go back to second year now. I don't know what's wrong with Scott. I don't know what's wrong with his life. I don't know what he's going through. But we get there and they hand us a towel. They hand us a life jacket, and then they gave us a helmet. Now, I know helmets are for collisions. Helmets are for safety. Why we didn't need that last year? We just were floating around. So, we're going to go on a class 4 rapid. Now, I don't know anything about classes. Like, okay, class 4, class 12, class 92, I don't care. Let's just don't go in the water. And I was helmeted not to go in the water. And man, we're going, and a couple times we got a little, and I was going, man, I'm staying in the boat, huge goal. And we had a little bit of trouble. You got a little white water on ride on 4. Class 4, you're going to get some white water, you got to wear a helmet, because you might get something. Great trip. Look how happy we were at the end. Next year, yeah, I don't know. Scott has a financial problem. But we're going to go on a class 5 rapid. Now, I didn't even know anything about rapid. Class 6 is a waterfall. Class 5 basically means you're dying, all right? So here we are taking off on the class 5 rapid. This is not a good trip. This is death-defying. There's a ton of water. I have a goal that is so firmly set, it's unbelievably set now. I am not going in the river. They got little loops for your feet, and I got my foot in that thing. I am not leaving the boat. Lots of water. Corpses going by you. This is dangerous water. What are we doing here? We're teachers. We're coaches. We're not Natural Geographic dudes. On a class 5 rapid, you pull over to the side, and you walk up a mountain or the hill, and you look at the rapid, and then you figure out, here's how we're going to get through it safely. I stayed in the boat because that was my goal. And I didn't know what I would be looking for anyway up there. So I just stayed there, ready. We came back. Guy said, and we could see the lunch. It's like right where that is. We're that close. And there's just a little river going through, and there's a giant rock. And they call this train freight train, because it sounds like a freight train going through. The guy comes down and says, listen, we got 3 to the left, 3 to the right, and then go left as hard as you can, we'll go right through there. And you can see lunch. And they're all down there, they've survived. We're still in a near-death experience. So we take off and people start exiting the boat involuntarily. Like that guy, who I called a quitter. We had a couple more lefts and a couple more rights. He's gone. So now we're heading to the rock. Yeah, live footage almost. And we're not supposed to go to the rock. We're supposed to be over here. And we are going, and the river takes us right into this rock. It's called wrapping the raft for you experts.
cook a good one.
Oh yeah, there's secret footage. But I was now upside down with the oars pinning my legs, and I was doing an atomic sit-up against the river, and then get down, and I'm dying, and all of a sudden, my 3-year goal switched. I wanted out of the boat. For 3 years, I wanted to stay in the boat. Now I want out of the boat. Now, I don't know how dangerous this painting's going to be tomorrow. Wednesday. I'm just warning people. They give you a helmet. Give you a helmet. Be ready. Again, I loved my time teaching, and I had a lot of great experience. I was a department head for a couple of years, and I was on the union negotiating team for a year. I had some joyful experiences. I raised about 9 times my salary for football. Sold a lot of chocolate. Became diabetic. Lied on everybody, but I felt bad for them. But every 4th of July, an aluminum shed selling fireworks and car washes, lift-a-thons, the joy of teaching. Again, I don't know how many of you Bible scholars are out there, but I don't know if you've read this verse. Then Jesus took his disciples up the mountain and gathered them around him. He taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are they that mourn. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are they that thirst for not justice. Blessed are you when persecuted. Blessed are you when you suffer. Be glad and rejoice, for your reward is great in heaven." Then Simon Peter said, "Are we supposed to know this?" And Andrew said, "Do we have to write this down?" And James said, "Will we have a test on this?" And Philip said, "I don't have any paper." And Bartholomew said, "Do we have to turn this in?" And John said, "The other disciples didn't have to learn this." And Matthew said, "May I go to the bathroom?" And one of the Pharisees who was present asked to see Jesus' lesson plan and inquired of Jesus, "Where is your anticipatory set and your objectives in the cognitive domain?" And Jesus wept. So that's a little-known Bible verse. That's skip in church. But that kind of sums it up there. That's pretty much my talk. Teaching is tough. And the reason it's tough is because people learn differently. So we're all put into a classroom with 50 minutes or 80 minutes or 90 minutes, whatever the flavor of the year is on scheduling. And it's tough. I get it. You get it. People learn differently. Some people have to listen to it. Some people have to do it. Some people have to write it. Some people need repetition. Some people aren't ready to learn because their basic needs aren't met. There's all kinds of problems. Some of them don't even like being there. You imagine not liking being in a class summer afternoon after a year of teaching. You imagine how they must feel. Unbelievable. And really, most of you already are prejudging me, just like your kids prejudge you. As soon as you start talking every day, they're going, "I wonder if I'm going to like this. I wonder if it's going to be interesting. I wonder if it's going to be fun. I wonder if it's important. I wonder how long this is going to go." That's really what they're thinking. Just like that's what you're thinking about me. How long is it going to go? Can you get out early? I mean, it killed me when I was teaching. There were some classes I wish you'd be a film. They were just perfect. And the kids would be kind of like crying. They were so, "God, you respect, that was awesome." And it would be like 2 minutes to 1, and they're just putting their stuff in their backpack. "I love this class, man." They were just so conditioned to get up and leave. And then, well, I said, let's keep going. I can have another class. Every class did it 2 minutes early. Didn't matter what we were doing. Everybody had to get ready. Get your stuff in their backpack. Stretch a little bit. And then close to the door. Kids were conditioned. Killed me. And then there's constant reform. Everybody's going to fix this thing. I remember one of my subjects when I got my credentials, that was 40 plus years ago, was how can we fix education? It was screwed up then. It's screwed up now, and it'll screw it up for will find you. I don't know, they're close. Can't quite see each other. I don't know, that made me laugh. All right. One of my favorite quotes is success is doing a common thing in an uncommon way. Success is doing a common thing in an uncommon way. You know, there's all kinds of teachers in this country. Why are some really good and some really bad? You ever think about that? You know, when I taught at Merced High School, all the sophomore English classes were across the hall from me, rooms 16, 17, 18, 19. All the sophomores, all the same curriculum. And after class, I'd stand outside my door, and kids would be coming out of class 17, they'd be laughing, and they would be saying, that was fun, that was great, I'm going to read the book, oh, that was awesome. And then kids would be coming out of room 16, and they're plotting how they're going to blow the teacher's car up. Well, I got the dynamite, man, working today. And I know it's not funny to talk about violence in school, okay, but my point is, how can you have the same curriculum, the same town, the same kids, and one class is having a great experience and another class hates it? And it really goes back to the teacher. Success is doing a common thing in an uncommon way. There's all kinds of coaches in the world. Some are really good and they'll win with anything. And some are really bad. There's all kinds of musicians in the world. There's all kinds of artists. Heck, I'll go to a coffee shop. I'll pass 2 or 3 just to see the barista who's friendly, who knows what I like in my coffee. You can even pour coffee better than other people. Success is doing a common thing in an uncommon way. It's an interesting question that was proposed. I got fired once in my life. And it was an awful experience. But if you're a football coach, you should get fired a lot. I've been pretty lucky. But I got fired, and actually I wasn't fired. They didn't renew my contract. That's kind of like getting fired, I think. And I still didn't have a job. I say you did a great job. We're not renewing your contract, but great job. And I don't know if you've ever not had a job. I've had a job since I was 17, and now I'm in my 50s. It's a bad feeling. You get up, you call your friends, do your networking, and then you kind of go, about 11 o'clock, you go like, hey, this will be clean. It's a hard, weird feeling. Now, teachers don't get fired very often. You gotta do something pretty egregious. And that's cool, that's great. But what if? What if your job depended on winning? Whatever that is in the classroom. Whatever success that is. I mean, for football, it's pretty easy. Did you win the game, did you lose the game? Did you score enough points? You did not score enough points. And it's a little bit ridiculous, in my opinion, how people get fired. But what if? What if your job depended on it? What would you change? What could you change? I mean, to me, that's a pretty important question. If they change education, they said, hey, how would you even know? And that's, of course, you know, that's where everybody's getting the argument. How can you tell if I'm a good teacher or not? Well, you didn't score enough points. How'd you point the point? Well, I don't know. I'll tell you, my high school was a crazy high school. We tried some experimental college-type program. So we had lectures on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and small group discussions. And then we had study centers, which were the safest place to be because nobody was in there. But the best thing they did, and if I was a principal, I'd do it, is they had arena scheduling. Remember arena scheduling in college where you walk the teacher to be there, you walk up, and then you, of course, there's a computer right now. Now you gotta go back in time. You gotta give a kid a card, he's gotta get 6 periods, and then you walk up and here's all the English teachers, and there's a line all the way out the door for her, and nobody's in his line. And if I was the principal, I'd go, yeah, you lost. Word's out, nobody likes that guy. I don't know if he's good or bad, nobody likes him, he's gone. I don't know what you're doing. We gotta keep an eye on him, it could be bad, but you're in. It was awesome. Every teacher sit there with nobody. Everybody, and you'd walk up there, don't go to Mr. Ricardo. Do not sign up for Mr. Ricardo's class. The word was out. Think about college, remember that? You know, it was always like, well, what classes should I not take? Who are the lousy teachers? You know, in high school, kids get put in. Kind of an interesting deal. That's what I do different. I read 2 articles that really changed me about teaching. That really I want to share them with you. And I hope that means something to you. Again, I've been doing this for 40 plus years. We're still scrambling. We're still trying to figure this out. As soon as we think we got a handle on it, a new problem comes up. And the problems you guys are dealing with today are way different than the problems I dealt with, but they're still problems. You know, growth is usually when we're out of our comfort zone. And to me, it's a constant fight to improve. And one thing that I enjoy about coaching football is every year is different. Every team's different. And I'm constantly fighting to get better. Fighting to get a better playbook. Fighting to get better practice plans. Fighting to find a better way to teach my guys how we can win a football game. And getting out of your comfort zone is hard. I was at one of these classes once, a guy gave a great description of your comfort zone. Everybody just cross your arms right now. Just cross your arms. Just cross your arms. All right, everybody crossing their arms. Come on now. I will not make you introduce yourself. I will not call you out and make you uncomfortable. Now, switch your arms. I don't know about you, but it feels really weird. Perfect. Weird. That's your comfort zone. This is my comfort zone. This is not comfortable to me. And maybe it does. Now, some people can do it both ways. You're cross-arm dexterous. Which is a talent. I'll put that on your resume. But when you get out of your comfort zone, it's kind of when you learn when good things happen. Well, I'm going to give you, free of charge, my 3 best ideas I ever came up with. Number 1, the discipline wheel. I started this in football, but I took it into the classroom. In football, we wanted our kids to be disciplined. We wanted them to have their cleats. Could be a pencil. We wanted them to have the right color jersey. Could be a backpack. And then I'd be out of practice and the kids would run out in tennis shoes and they come out with their brother's 49er jersey and I'm going, hey man, you're not dressed right. And I looked at them and said, listen, you see me after practice. Because I'm going to run you so you're very uncomfortable. I'm going to discipline you. Do that in football. Yeah, no, hold on, start running. You can't do that. But what happened is I also went to a teaching conference where they said, always end the class, always end practice on a positive note. So I'm already mad at you, but after practice I'll be going, this is great practice. We're going to kill these guys this week. Thank you for your great effort. I'll see you tomorrow. And then I'd be driving on and go, I'm supposed to kill that guy. I'm supposed to run him until he was uncomfortable. I did not remember to do it. So I thought to myself, how can I remember to discipline these kids? And I was sitting around musing with some coaches. I said, you know, it'd be nice if we had like a Wheel of Fortune wheel so they could spin it. And then they would get some kind of punishment. And then I kept thinking, I go, well, wouldn't it be cool if there's like a little slice of the pie that said you're free? Like, home free. Wouldn't that be cool? And so the guy came back and he made it. The problem was the kids started hiding their cleats, other guys' cleats, because they wanted to see the other guy spin the wheel. Because the pieces of pie were huge, like run till you puke, do push-ups that you can't do anymore, clean up the entire field, to empty all the trash, whatever it was, and then there was a little slice of home free. It was tiny. It was tiny, but it was there. And so I ended practice on a positive note. Great job today. Appreciate your effort. Coach, but he forgot his cleats. And they would just go, zzz. That's the sound it made. Spin it. Oh man. Then it didn't become me. It was the board. I was going, oh man. I'm sorry, man. I forgot to me. I let it go. But we got rules. And he'd spin it and we'd all chant. I started chanting, home free, home free, home free. I'm with you, man. And he'd get like, run till you puke. Sorry. You heard I'm trying to get you off, I'm going to 7. Kind of a fun deal, but it's also effective. Again, people learn when they're having fun, people learn when they're mad, people learn when they're emotions. That's how people learn. My next best idea was grading. How many times, especially if you're in high school, have you been told you gave me a grade? That one just really frosted my cornflakes. You gave me a D, Mr. Speckman. What are you talking about? I gave you a D. I'm like the mirror, I just reflect back. I didn't want to give any more grades. I'm done with grades. So I will start. The other thing I thought about is, has anybody ever been pulled over by like the college police or Harvard police? Because when I was teaching in high school, we had to spend 2 weeks on World War I, and then we had to spend 10 days on the Roaring Twenties and the Depression, and we had to spend 3 weeks on what if we were done. I have to spend, and I was always worried I was going to get somebody to pull me over on the freeway. So you, Mr. Speckman, yeah. You coach Tom Smith, or you teach Tom Smith history? Yeah. What, do you know Tom Smith doesn't know about the Civil War? Now we're blaming you, buddy. Let's go. That never happened. Don't ever blame me. I'm a kid. I don't know. Everybody's teaching their deal, right? So I said, I think we want our kids to be competent. What does competent mean? Competence average. Competent to C. If you want to C in my class, you had to pass a competency test. It was 15 questions on basic things that you should know at the $200 level of jeopardy. Okay? Basic questions such as, who did we fight in World War II? What was the German leader's name? What did we drop on Japan to end the war? Basic stuff that you would hope every citizen knows. And if you took the competency test, which, by the way, you could take more than once, but you had to get a perfect score on it. You could take it as many times as you wanted, you could get a C. That's it. I didn't care about homework. I didn't care about anything else except pass the competency test. And if you didn't pass the competency test, you got an F. If you wanted a B, you had to do homework, and you had to do an essay question in addition to competency test. Because B will get you into college. And if you go to college, you'll have to write an essay. That's how I explain it to my guys. And if you want an A, you will read a book. And you will do a book report. You will do the homework, and you will do the essay, and you will pass the competency test. Because you've got to do a little more to get an A. But I'll tell you, the genius behind it was, you could see kids thinking about it at the beginning of each section, like, what do I want? I want an A. I don't want to do a book report. And they would have to physically get up at the test and get the paper for the essays. So they publicly were saying, I am trying for more than a C. That was what it came to. And the kids who wanted a C were happy. And I never gave a grade again. Because they chose the grade and they worked for the grade. Great idea, run with it. All right. And perhaps my finest moment as a teacher was when I was being observed by the administration. Didn't matter if it was a surprise, didn't matter if they planned it, my class was ready for this. Because kids love being in on this. And I would tell my class at the beginning of the semester, listen, at some point, somebody in a suit is going to come in here and watch me teach. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. When this happens, I'm going to say a code word. And we practice this. I have some, it's going to be, how about them Niners? That's the code word. We got it. How about them Niners? And then I'm going to start asking questions. If you know the answer to the question, raise your right hand. If you do not know the answer, raise your left hand. But everybody, raise your hand. I teach away. Here comes the vice principal who's like 20 years younger than me. And He taught for 2 years. And he's going to come observe me. But we were ready. And I'd be doing whatever I was doing. I said, hey, listen, how about them 9s, huh? It could be April, I didn't care. And the kids would put their pencils down with anticipation for the quiz that was to come. And I would start saying, we've been talking about this, and I would ask a question, and like 42 hands would go up. And I taught them, when you practice, don't just, it's like, I want to answer. Strain, I was a strain. Kids got into it. And I would always get unbelievable class participation. They really seem to be into it. The problem is, if you ask a question, all left hands go up. That's happened. Well, again, I'll help you out. Just say, whoa, before we go there, I'm going to back it up a little bit. Come back to this, ask some of these, and then we'll get right in. So, I think I pretty much solved 40, maybe 60% of your problems right there. All right. A few years ago, when I was teaching in high school, this article came out, and it said 17 reasons why football is better than high school by Herb Childress. I put Herb's name up there for 2 reasons. One, I thought it was a phenomenal article. What Herb did is he went up to a high school in Northern California and embedded himself in the high school for a year. Now, everybody knew he was a sociologist, but he just went to the high school for a year, and then he wrote a report. And when I read it, I called him up and said, are you going to write a book? Is this going to be a movie? This is awesome. And he said, Coach, did you read the beginning? I said, yes, I did. He said, because in the beginning he says, I hate football. But even football is better than high school. That's how this, I said, I thought that was a little harsh. That's what I told him. You could have been a little nicer. And I hope this kind of sticks you off, because maybe you'll learn something. I talked about that. Maybe you cry. One thing will make you laugh. But here's the 17 reasons. Think about this. Even football is better than high school. In football, teenagers are considered important contributors rather than passive recipients. When you go out to watch a practice, everybody's involved. Everybody's participating. Nobody's going, don't throw me the ball. Ball hits it. Everybody's participating. Big deal. In football, teenagers are encouraged to excel. Some people go, I encourage my kids to excel. Well, do you encourage them to go to summer camps? Do you encourage them to go to weight room on their own? Do you encourage them to go to summer camp? Do you encourage them to get a trainer? Kind of interesting. In football, teenagers are honored. Well, I made the honor roll. Put your picture in the paper. Then, were you selected for an all-star team? It's a kind of interesting deal. In football, the players let the team down. They dropped the ball. They jumped off sides. We lost the game this year. We called no play, no count. That means there's no play, no count. I mean, we're not snapping the ball. Just line up, and when a quarterback will say, hut, hut, and hopefully they jump off sides. We have a senior all-league lineman who just signed with the Chicago Bears, and he, on the first hut, exploded off the line of scrimmage, and it was a penalty, and we lost the game. And I thought, I wish I had this deal to death. He let the team down. There was a lot of plays it did, but you should let the team down. But if the kid doesn't turn his homework in, the rest of the team's not. Class is going, oh great, now we can win. You just flunked the test. Oh geez, we're not going to the playoffs. If you're in a group project, it can be a little of a bit of a problem. I saw something on the internet the other night about a great group project. In high school yearbook, somebody for their senior quote said, I hope all the people that I was in group projects with are at my funeral so they can let me down one more time. I thought that was pretty close. So, my spiel on group projects. All right. In football, repetition is honorable. And in football, you do it all the time. Again, do it again. Run it again. Could you imagine if you, okay, let's do that multiplication table one more time. Do it again. You should move on to division. We're not ready. Do it again. We're going to be great at multiplication. In football, the unexpected happens all the time. What's the biggest thing people say about class? It's boring. Desks are always the same. Seats always the same. Introduction's always the same. Man, all kinds of unexpected things happen in football. In football, practices generally run a lot longer than 50 minutes. They go 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Nobody complains because they're into it. In football, homework is a different type than what's done in practice. So you practice football, your homework's lifting weights, your homework's studying plays, your homework's something else. In football, emotions and human contact are expected parts of the work. I mean, you see adults hugging guys, you see high fives, you see interaction, you see emotion, you see adults and young people in a real positive contact. I love our 10 football players get to choose their own roles. They choose what they're good at. You know, so listen, you're going to be the tackle, and I know you're 112 pounds, but I just think you look like a tackle. And you big fella, you're going to be our speed guy. Yeah, I know you can't run fast, but I bet you could. You're going to put them in the very best place where they belong, and they get to choose. The kids, they come up and say, I want to play this, or I want to play that. And you work with them. They get to choose. Now, they don't get to choose what they learn. They get a lesson plan. Nothing wrong with that, but again, it's a tougher way to go. It's a tougher way to go. In football, the better players teach the less skilled players. That happens all the time. The good players tell them, hey, you got to line up further out. You got to get on the line of scrimmage. You're doing it wrong. Yeah, it doesn't happen as much in the classroom. Football, there's a lot of individual instruction and encouragement from adults. I mean, when I taught history, I was by myself with 40 kids. I go out to football practice, we had 90 kids on the team, I had 10 other adults out there. We broke everything into small groups. We got a lot of individual attention. Even football, according to her children, is better than high school. Football, the adults who participate are genuinely interested. I'm sure you guys are all great teachers, but I taught with some guys that were not genuinely interested. In fact, they genuinely didn't like kids. They were genuinely in the wrong profession. They genuinely really loved Friday and hated Mondays. They genuinely would bitch and moan at the mailbox about the kids. I don't know if anybody here is like that, but I love the genuine interest we have. In football, volunteers from the community are sought after. Bring some of volunteers in. Bring them in. In football, ability isn't age linked. If you're good, go to the varsity. If you're good at sophomore English student, you're going to be a sophomore English student. In football, there's a whole job to do at the end. Every Friday night, you got to do the whole job in front of people. And you're graded. And everybody knows it's in the newspaper. It's on the internet. It's graded. You can skate through high school and nobody knows what the heck's going on. My man Herb was on fire. In football, a public performance is expected. You never play a game on a Wednesday morning. And then this is where I thought I was really right. No single one of these 17 patterns taken individually constitutes a magic potion for a good learning environment. But when we look at these patterns taken together, we can see that football has a lot to recommend it as a social configuration for learning. I'm not going to argue that we should give up on school and focus on football. What I am saying is that we have a model for learning difficult skills, a model that appears in sports, in theater, in student clubs, in music, in hobbies, and it's a model that works, that transmits both skill and joy from adult to teenager, and from one teenager to another. And you know, there's a lot of truth to that. You know, I played in the band in high school and in college. I played the trombone. I'll talk about that next hour. But you know, we loved it. I practiced all the time. We loved that stuff. And school was a byproduct through osmosis. And we learned because we had some really good teachers that really cared about us and made it interesting enough and fun enough that in our adolescence and in our knuckleheadedness, we hung in there long enough to get an education. Because you weren't on fire in 5th grade. You weren't on fire when you were in 9th grade. Now, all of you like school because you're teachers. But you weren't always on fire. And the kids you're teaching aren't either. And then his final thought was we need a varsity education. And I really think he's got some points there. And again, I'm not talking about football being better than him. He didn't even like football. That's why I couldn't call him again. He told me, don't call me again. Which I thought was rude. He really wasn't rude, too. Bring that up if you ever use this article. And then the second one I want to talk about, I don't know how many of you read Malcolm Gladwell, but he wrote a book. There's a book of his short stories he wrote, I think it's for the New Yorker magazine, called What the Dog Saw. And there was a couple of, one of the articles is he said, how do you know when somebody's going to be a good employee? And his premise was, how do you know a guy's going to be a good NFL quarterback, a guy's going to be a good financial advisor, or a guy's going to be a good teacher? How do you know? I mean, how do you predict it? Okay? And so he wrote, most likely to succeed, and then there's another article he didn't write, it's called The Talent Myth, and it's by Stanford. I'll have that thing up there to say. But in the NFL, the problem is, how do you spend millions of dollars on first round draft choice? How do you spend millions of dollars? I mean, I was in pro football for a couple of years, and they spend hours and hours and tons of money on draft picks. And you're trying to predict if somebody's going to be a great player. And in the book, he picked a quarterback from Missouri named Chase Daniels, who's somewhere in the league still, has never started. But they were trying to figure out, because he was only 6 feet tall, had an average arm strength, would he be a good quarterback? And they talked about the testing they did of him, and how much they watched film, and how much they interviewed him. They went back and interviewed his elementary school teachers, and his high school coach, and his college coach. And they drafted him. They did intelligence tests. And then he started talking about all the people that didn't make it. I mean, if you follow football or basketball, just follow any sport, all these people are supposed to be first-round draft choices, they never played. And all these free agents and walk-ons end up being great players. How do they miss? I mean, people's livelihood's based on this. People get fired by this. And in the article, he talked about how this guy was a pretty average quarterback. Then they talked about financial advisors. And in the financial advisors, if you are a financial advisor, you start with a mentor. And you don't make a whole lot of money early on. And you've got to phone your relatives and say, hey, you want to put some money in a retirement fund? And you start building your own amount of money. And if you last 5 years, you usually make a ton of money. But most people don't last 5 years because they can't make enough money in the short term, in the short run. So we say, well, maybe that's the way you should do it. Just throw people in, and those who survive, make it. You don't need teacher training. Just throw them in. If they're a good teacher, they're good. If they're not, they're not. Kind of interesting. And then they talked about Enron. Like, maybe we should just get the most talented people. Get the most talented. Enron had a bunch of talented people, but that company tanked. It's a great TED Talk about LeBron James and the Miami Heat, and how LeBron James tried to form a super team. All these all-stars, Dwayne Wade, I can't remember the other guy's name, but they were going to win all these championships. And this guy's point in the TED Talk was, talent, you get too much talent, you're not going to win. Now the Warriors are an exception, because they have pretty low egos. But you get a bunch of stars, and the Miami Heat won 2 championships, and they imploded. And he talked about other organizations, too much talent sometimes. He said what helped the Miami Heat is they had one guy named Shane Battier, who was an average player, but he did all the dirty work. He was around the glue. And that was the guy that changed their fortune. Wasn't the most talented guy, it was the person that had the best feel, was the best teammate. Kind of an interesting deal. A lot of people think we should have more rigor in teaching. Like if you're a better science teacher, you'll be a better teacher. If you know more history, you'll be a better teacher. And again, there's no correlation. I mean, how many of you have opened the book the night before and gone and taught it the next day and gotten by with it? Done a serviceable job. I sure have. I sure have. Whoops. The last thing they talked about in that book is a film teacher. He said, who was the best teacher? So they had a guy who was a doctorate in mathematics, and it filmed him teaching a high school class, regular high school class. And the guy knew his stuff. But you know, every time he turned his back, there's paper airplanes, there's kids groups going around. He could not connect with the students. He had to keep stopping and telling them to be quiet. It was a bad class. Then they filmed this other person that was a computer whiz. And this person was going to have all this audio-visual stuff. And of course, it didn't work for the first 15 minutes of class, so that person, they couldn't get the cords on. And then they had this guy just wearing jeans, came from a state school. And he's teaching geometry, and every kid in the class is involved. When he turned his back, he kind of said, hey, stop it. That's all he had to do. He kind of had his eyes on the class most of the time. Kids were learning. They said, that's the best teacher. Guy had state school education, no master's degree, just teaching. Why was he the best? And what the article was about, I love this term, it's called with-itness. With-itness. This guy was with it. He could sense it. He could see it. He had more common sense than the other professionals. With-itness. The guy was with it. Good teachers are with it. They get it. They can calm the crowd. They can snap their fingers. They can put their hands up. They can do whatever it is. They're with it. A lot of teachers can put together great audiovisual lessons. They know their stuff backwards and forwards. But if you can't teach it, you're a pretty average teacher. Just like you can throw the football, you can do all these things in college, but it may not translate to the NFL. And so a pretty interesting article. I do have a book out, it's called Figure It Out. I'm going to talk about that term, figure it out. We're going to take a break here. Scott, how long do you want to break? Okay. See that? Probably takes 2:31. Let's get back to 2:45. Like that, 14 minutes. All right, thank you, guys. I think the ones that resonate are the ones that make you think. Like, think about your situation, think about your deal, because everybody's deal is different. You know, my situation is way different than yours, and your kids are way tougher than mine, and mine are way smarter than yours, and yours are way smarter than mine, and everybody's got something going on. So I was wondering what the heck I'm doing here talking, but I think it's hard to talk to teachers. I think they're underpaid, underloved, overworked, and so it is a tough deal. With that being said, better than not having a job. Good question. All right. Some things that I was taught. A lot of people like to take notes. This is good stuff. My mother taught me logic. If you fall out that swing and break your neck, you're not going to the store with me. I'm going to write that down. My dad taught me irony. Keep crying and I'll give you something to cry about. Good stuff. My mother taught me about genetics. You're just like your father. My favorite, my dad taught me about the science of osmosis. Shut your mouth and eat your supper. So that's the content part of the talk. Move on to something else here. You know, motivation is really kind of an interesting deal. You know, football coach, you know, we're supposed to be great motivators. And the stereotype is that we go in and we tell our team right before the game something stirring, and they come exploding out of the locker room, passion and fire. The truth is, on game day, you can pretty much open the door and say, hey, the other team showed up, and they still come screaming out. They're always motivated on Saturday or Friday night. It's like Tuesday where I got to do my work. Because nobody wants to be there on Tuesday. Wednesdays aren't any fun. Getting fired up on game day has never been a huge deal. And then the other thing that's interesting about motivation, I've I've studied motivation. I've heard a lot of motivational speakers, read a ton of books, done a lot of studying on it. And what I've learned about motivation is you can't motivate anybody. It's a short talk. Are there any questions? I mean, if you don't want to get out of the way of the bus, you're not going to get out of the way of the bus. You know, you can say, hey, move. It's going to hurt. And if they don't move, they don't move. And you know, the other thing I found about motivation, it's hard to motivate myself. If I can't motivate myself, how am I going to motivate anybody else? If I go to a class and I think the class sucks, they're really going to think it sucks. And if I go out to practice and I think it's hot, and I'm tired, and I don't want to be there, they're not going to want to be there either. In fact, I've kind of trained myself in football, the worse it gets, one of the terms we use all the time at Davis, the harder it gets, the better we get. And that's really kind of one of the things that you follow me around. If I'm really animated and I'm really juiced, I'm feeling pretty bad. I'm tired. I'm not in the perfect mood. But I better go out and manufacture something because it's not their fault I'm tired. It's not their fault I'm sick. You got to train yourself. You got to motivate yourself. That's why motivating other people and teams and groups is so hard. I mean, how do you motivate 35 kids? How do you do that? It's impossible. So don't beat yourself up. Just motivate yourself. And if somebody's going to follow you. Somebody's going to follow you. Because it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. You know, a lot of people think there are techniques to motivation. You know, when I was going to school, this was probably the most common motivator. And a good, swift kick. I don't think you can do that anymore, but it was very effective. I love that picture. And you know, the thing about motivation, people become unmotivated when they don't have hope. People become unmotivated when they think, I don't have a chance. It doesn't matter. That's how teachers get unmotivated. It doesn't matter. I don't have a chance. That's how teams become unmotivated. I can't win. We don't have a shot. Hope is the best motivator. And hope is really tied to potential. When people understand that they have a lot of potential in the world, they become much more hopeful. You know, I was at a conference once, and this teacher, we were talking, and he looked, and he was serious as a crutch. And he said, hey, when did we lose the kids? And I'm thinking, like, he must think it was like, yeah, it was March 15th, 2007, man. It was downhill ever since. Like, what do you mean, when did we lose the kids? Kids are kids, man. When I recruit really, really good student athletes at UC Davis, you've got to be a really good student to get in there. And you know what? There's tons of them. Tons of them. It's amazing how many good students there are out there. It's amazing how many good kids there are. You know, all we hear about is the bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones out there. Trust me. We should be hopeful. There's an article in the paper the other day, and let me just talk about potential for a second here. I'm going to come back to this several times, and I taught history, and I know if you don't have some props, you'll lose the class. So I don't want to do that, so I'm going to model this here. If this vase is you, and the water in this vase is your potential, most people have no idea what their potential is. Most people pour out a little bit of their potential, and then they stop. And they stop because nobody told them to keep going. They stop because all their friends stop. Everybody's got unlimited potential. Some people pour out a little bit more, and then they stop. And then some people, successful people, they pour it out till there's nothing left. And that's really what success is. Now, I know that's corny, but that's really what potential is. Potential is the water, and you are the vase. And we have no idea how much potential we have. And that's why when I taught high school, it drove me nuts. When kids would say, well, I'm not smart enough, Mr. Speckman, or I'm not good at math, Mr. Speckman, or I'm going to quit the team because I'm not good enough. Everybody discounted themselves about what they could do, and they just kind of squandered their potential. And then the guys that really were successful were the people that poured it out till there was nothing left. And I think that's really kind of the key to this thing about hope. Hope is your potential. The idea that you can do more. The idea that you can be successful. You know, parental issues are huge. I love these. These are excuses. You may have seen some of these. Please excuse Jennifer from missing school yesterday. We forgot to get the Sunday paper off the porch, and when we found it Monday, we thought it was Sunday. My son is under a doctor's care and should not take PE today. Please execute him. Please excuse Gloria from gym today. She's administrator. These are actual notes. Please excuse Jimmy for being. It was his father's fault. Please excuse Ray Friday from school. He has very loose bowels. Please excuse Roland for PE for a few days. Yesterday he fell off a tree and misplaced his hip. I get the water coming. You know, there's an article about school violence and all the school shootings. And somebody was a proponent of not controlling guns. Everybody has their right to whatever they want to think. Started talking about how it's the parents' fault. And how it's the teacher's fault. And how we took God out of the classroom. And everything but the books. But you know what, there's always been mental health issues. We had crazy dudes when I was going to school. There's always been violence. There's always been parents have always been screwed. We've never had a class where these parents are unbelievable. I wish every class was like this. Every year you go, oh, like the morons. Back to school night's always the best kids' parents. It's just the way it is. You know, the Greeks had this model of education, kind of what we based ours on. It was a triangle. They talked about spiritual, physical, and mental health. And mental education. And you know, we don't have a triangle anymore, but it doesn't mean we can't still succeed. We just got to figure out ways to do it. And again, we've been in constant reform for 40 plus years, and I don't think anybody's figured it out yet. Martin Luther King, I love this quote, said, education which stops with efficiency may prove the greatest menace to society. We must remember that intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. We hear very little about character in our classrooms yet. As Dr. King suggests, the real problem in the world is not a lack of education. You know, we've got a lot to teach our kids. Parents have very well do. But just teach them to the test and teach them facts. Those days are gone. And I want to kind of dedicate this rest of my talk to my youth football coaches. Because I still remember, Joe Renati and Frank Luzzo, I think Joe's still alive. But they took a kid that was in the 6th grade and said, hey, I think you can play football. A kid with no hands, 9 toes. And they said, hey, why don't you try playing football? And they weren't there to see the finished product. Just like a lot of you elementary teachers aren't there to see the finished product. But those guys did a great job instilling in me a belief. They gave me hope. They said you have potential. And they said that, you know, they gave me a roadmap on how I could become successful. I appreciate those guys. Some days I got to talk on you guys. They did an interesting study in the juvenile detention centers of California. Why do you quit? 12-year study, over 1,000 at-risk. I like that, hopefully, but at-risk youth. 98% of them quit youth sports, and they asked them, how come you quit? And their answer, they had 2 reasons. Negative coaches and negative parents. You know, because for a lot of kids, the last thing they need is somebody else to tell them how screwed up they are, or another mistake they made. Negative coaches and negative parents. 98% of kids quit youth sports because of that. And I think we need to teach good stories. You know, in our society now, you're not competing unless you're cheating. And recruiting in college football, that's an unsavory business. It's a little slimy. You know, any place an older man's chasing a younger man around, that's usually a crime. But a recruiter, Colorado coaches ran the play, they scored, and they won the game. Ethically, they probably should have said, you're right, we had 4 downs. Nope. 1954, Oklahoma had the longest winning streak in college football. They were playing at Texas Christian University. Nobody ever heard of Johnny Couch. But he would have stopped the win streak. He slid in the end zone and caught the ball. They signaled touchdown. He got up and said, I didn't catch it. And then Oklahoma went on to win the game, and they went on to win about 52 more games after that. Nobody knows about Johnny Couch. We got to talk about Johnny Couches. Those are good stories. Kids learn from stories. We need good stories. One of the things that strikes me the most about kids reaching their potential is this whole thing about throwaway words. You know, so many kids hear negative things all the time, and that's all, and that just, they stop. They just stop pouring out their potential. They stop trying so much because they've heard so much negative. And you know, man, if you're bad at something, you don't want to keep going. I mean, if you really were bad as a student, you're probably not going in education. I bet a lot of you played a musical instrument at one point, you didn't like it, you quit. But a lot of you played a sport, and you quit. It's just when you moved on, you weren't very good at it. You kind of go to things you're good at. And if everything you hear is negative, man, it's hard to pour it out. It's really hard. And that to me is I call it the power of throwaway words, where you just toss words away. You know, I had a 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Hansel, 6 feet tall. She was the tallest human being I'd ever seen in my life. A giant blonde woman. And she cut us around one day, and it was like she was giving us a secret to the universe. She said, hey, listen. On the first day of the month, when you wake up, the first thing you must say is rabbit, and you will have good luck. And we're sitting there going, check, got it. Now, I don't know if she's in some weird cult. I don't know if she was some kind of rabbitess. I don't know what her deal was. But on the first of the month, I would still say, rabbit. Has anybody heard that thing? No. I say rabbit every first of the month. And if I don't, I'm not going to have good luck this month. First every month, I got to screw my granddaughter. I'm texting her, rabbit. You know, the picture of a rabbit. I just say, what did she say? Why do I remember that? I bet if Miss Hansel walked in, I told that story, she'd go, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. What did I do? I've had players go over here, students, really? I said that. Huh. Wow, that's pretty dumb. Throw away words. Think about how many things you say to kids in a day. Yes, no, Mike, go home, nice haircut, what's up? Put that away, stand up, sit down, fight. You're telling kids stuff all the time. All the time. You know, when I was in high school, I was pretty close with the vice principal. For many reasons. But I remember we were walking down the hall one day, I don't know what we were doing, and he said, hey, Speckman, if you ever get a teaching credential, I'll hire you. And it was like that was the end and beginning of my college plan. Oh, I got that. I mean, I hung on to those words like a lifeline in college. They passed Proposition 13, I still hung on to it. There's no teaching jobs. And he got me a student teaching position, and he helped me get a job. But you know what? I bet he never remembered. I remember I showed up, hey, Mancini, I'm ready. Ready to go up. I got my credential. Where's mine? Well, there's no job, man. Oh, we're closing the school. It's not good. He didn't remember telling me that. You know, in football, I would always give exit interviews when I was a head coach. And I'd have all my players come in and I'd ask them a set of questions. And I'd get the answers, and they'd give me the answers. And then I would say, listen, this is your time with the head coach. Man to man, if you've got a problem, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me what you don't like. I think he's got a great future. Well, he had another one in his class who was a troublemaker. F student. That was the mother that showed up. That mother went back and told Juan, hey, Mr. Escalante said says you're one of the brightest students he has. Really enjoys having you in class. Says you got great potential. Thinks you're going to go to college, no problem. The next day, bad one walks in and sits down, starts doing his work. And my next line says, wow, I was really impressed. About for a whole week he came in, sat out, turned his homework in, passed the test. After the end of the week, he said, hey, man, you really turned it around. Way to go. He said, well, no, I got these pictures you, Miss Driscoll, on it. Nobody's believed in me before. Nobody ever told my mom I was a good student. Nobody ever told her I was going to college. You know, she's ever heard bad stuff. It's the wrong one. It's the wrong kid. Should have blown that guy up. But you know, throwaway words have so much impact. They have impact on pro sports. Man, I saw guys in pro football get crushed by things that were said. Inflections. And I've seen kids get crushed by it. William James said the deepest principles of human nature is a craving to be appreciated. And don't we all want to be appreciated? Wouldn't it be nice if the principal said, hey, you're doing a great job. Why don't you take Friday off? Here's $500. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to say, hey, listen, I can't believe how well your English class did this year. Hey, listen, we're giving you new desk, new TV, $1,000, buy yourself something else. That never happened, man. Man, it just keeps getting piled on. We gotta accept that. We gotta understand it. But we all want to be appreciated. And just like we want to be appreciated as professionals, our kids want to be appreciated. Never place a period where God has placed a comma. You know, never place a period where God has placed a comma. You know, that's really what suicide is. A period where a comma should be. Yeah. A lot of kids get thrown out of school, probably should have just been a comma. You don't want to put a period on it. But I really felt that so many times we want to blow a kid up. So many times we want to get out. And man, you got to take a deep breath. And that's something I got to think about from time to time also. No one has the potential to do it all, but all have the potential to do something. One of my favorite quotes that I said. And I like that quote a lot. And I hope you do too. I hope you use it like on a newsletter. I just want to quote it. So feel free to take it. But it really goes back to this potential thing, you know. We all have unlimited potential. So many people, you know, they just give a little bit and they stop. So many people just don't realize that, hey, I've got all this potential and I'm just using a little bit of it. You know, if we aren't all going to be in the NBA, we're all going to all run a marathon, but you know, we can all do something. Everybody here has got potential. And every kid has got potential. We just got to figure it out. And that's kind of what I want to finish talking about is figure it out. You know, I was born without hands. Nobody ever told me how to do anything. I would listen in class on how to use scissors, and I would go, well, that ain't going to work for me. So I got to figure it out. And I would practice. Some of my failures were spectacular. But I figured it out. I figured out how to catch a football. I figured out how to shoot a basketball. I figured out how to play baseball. I figured out how to write with a pen. I figured out all that stuff. And I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just saying I'm way better than you at figuring stuff out. You're not even in my league. All right? And the reason I'm so good at it is, the reason I'm so good at figuring it out is because I have to. If you don't have to figure it out, you don't figure it out. It's like people that are blind hear 30% better than people with sight. Now, they don't go to the doctor and the doctor will say, hey, sorry about your eyes, I'm here for superiors, go get them. You know, that's not how it works. We all can hear 30% better. Like when the lights go out in my house, I can hear spiders. My hearing improved immensely. We all can hear 30% more. The reason we don't is we don't have to. When we cross the street, we look and we listen. You can't look anymore, your listening is going to go up. And if you've got to figure out everyday tasks, all of a sudden you get really good at figuring it out. You know, I was the third youngest person in the United States to get fitted for books. Some people think artificial legs give you an advantage. on social media. They look great, but they don't work. They have no strength, and they break, and they don't have a grip, and there's no tactile sensation. And so when I was 18 months old, my parents put me in hooks, and I hated them. I don't remember being 18 months old, but I must have hated them. Because I hated them when I was 3, I hated them when I was 4, 5, 6, etc. And so I got some pictures of me, and I'm the one with that. You shouldn't laugh at that. And if you look closely at the picture, you see my older brothers looking at me really closely. Because you never take your eye off a brother who has hooks. Somebody was going to get punched. So I had him pretty well trained. Again, here's another picture. You can see my little brother's terrified. He's been left alone with me. Nothing good's going to happen for that guy. I change his diaper. And I'm not saying my parents were cruel, but this is us at a petting zoo, and they have me in hooks. You can't feel anything with hooks. It's like taking a blind guy to a movie and say, "What do you think? Pretty good, huh?" What kind of parenting is that? And you know, when you have hooks, I went to elementary school, and God, I bet there's, for all you elementary teachers out there, my teacher was great. She just kind of, hey, here we go. I don't remember that. My mom just said, treat them like everyone else. And so, and I'd walk in with my hooks, and all the kids would say, hey, what's wrong with you? I said, I gotta wear these hooks. And they go, really? Can I wear them? I go, okay, go for it. I mean, try them. And it was pretty good. But I did almost kill myself several times. PE was the worst. So I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade. For all you 3rd grade teachers, if you have a kid with hooks, do not do this. And if you do have a kid with hooks in school, invest a little money and get double ply red rubber balls. Because we had single ply red rubber balls. And I popped every ball in room 10, 11, and 12. We had no more balls to play anything with. And they say, oh, don't throw it to Mark. And little piece of rubber hanging up. I'm sorry, you're out. But I remember being in 3rd grade and we had no balls left to play. So then we did folk dancing. I hated folk dancing. Nobody wanted to be my partner. So they gave me a tambourine, and I stood in the middle of the circle. They just hit the tambourine. And one day I kind of got into it, and I put my hook through the tambourine. So that was the end of folk dancing. So then we went to the monkey bars. Here's where it got a little violent. Way up there, so I'm trying to figure out. My little feet are coming up for air. I'm choking. And she said, run. She didn't want the class to see me die. And then they got on the loudspeaker, so Mike Speckman, please go to the office or go to the playground. And he was in 5th grade. He was the expert on hooks at the school. And he unclipped me. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm working. Figure it out, man. It was terrible. She retired 3 days later. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That is God's honest truth. Something about a gold handshake, I don't know what. Terrible story. Figuring it out. This whole thing about everybody in life's problems are their problems. And everybody's got to figure out. And sometimes you can read a book and they give you some ideas. Or sometimes you can talk with friends and give you some ideas. Most of the time, we got to figure it out. Like, how do I teach that one really troublesome kid? Or how do I really deal with that one troublesome administrator? Or how do I do more? How do I reach my potential? Part of figuring things out, every person has got to figure it out. Everybody's got to figure out, hey, how much potential do I really have? How much can I really pour out? How much can, when is it done? When have we done with our hope? Because that's what motivates people. It's that whole idea that there's hope. I really thought that I could play college football. And I had a coach that said, hey, you can go play college football. He told me what college to go to. It was a junior college. And I went there. And I played 2 years of junior college football. And I'm probably most guys, I was scared, like, who's gonna tie my stuff tomorrow? Because I can't tie my shoes. I can't tie anything. I've never tied my shoes. Everything I wear is a loafer. And if they have laces, I have somebody double knot them, and they become loafers. My kids walk miles with their shoelaces tucked underneath their feet because mommy wasn't home, and I had to convince them that all the cool kids are doing it. And I walked miles with my shoelaces tucked underneath my feet because I was embarrassed to ask for help. But in football, if you know anything about football, that's what laces are, man. You got your shoes, your girdle pads, your football pants, your shoulder pads, there's laces everywhere. And I remember going in that morning, I don't know anything. Because in high school, it was cool. I just kind of walked through the locker room, hey, how you doing? And they tie my shoes, thanks, man. And then I'd walk through, hey, we have any home tonight? Because they tie my pants, appreciate that. And then I'd walk my shoulders up, hey, I'm ready to go. And I'd walk out. But they're my boys. I was used to those guys. They were used to me. And in college, man, I don't know about you, but in college, like, everybody looked like they were about 40 years older than I was. Like, they had beards and stuff. I had to shave. Now, I look at this guy next to me, and I think, how bad do I want to play? You know, I got to figure it out. I mean, how bad do I want it? So I remember looking at this guy, I go, can you tie my shoes? And he looked at me and goes, you're kidding, right? I said, no. So he ties my shoes. This is where the story gets a little weird. I said, can you tie my girdle pads? He said, you're kidding, right? I said, no. So guys don't really like the tying guy stuff in that region, so they didn't want to. Pants, shoulder pads, and humiliating. But I knew if I got my stuff on, I could play. I knew if I got my stuff on. And then once you get your stuff on and you play and you get accepted, then all of a sudden you start reaching your potential, and then you're on the team. That's the great thing about teams. When you prove you can play, it doesn't matter what you are. You prove it, you do it. And I remember my shoe came untied in the game once, and the guy just slid into the huddle, tied my shoe right in the field for me, because they didn't want me to leave the game. And you know, I ended up starting 40 college football games at linebacker. And I figured it out. I figured out how to tackle. Coaches would talk about catching the ball. I got, well, that ain't gonna help me. I had to figure out my own way to catch the ball. I had to figure out my own way to tackle. I had to figure out all that stuff. And again, when you have to, you get good at it. When you have to, you get good at it. You know, things happen all the time. I go to hotels all the time. I get in the room and they're giving me the handicap room. I didn't ask for the handicap room. They just assume I should have a handicap room. That kicks me off. You ever been in a handicap room?
Yeah.
Giant bathrooms. You can bowl with them. They're for wheelchairs. The shower's removable. So I'm showering and I'm getting everything wet. And I'm going, this isn't helping me. It really bothers me. So now I say, is this just a regular room? But if I don't ask, you know, 5 out of 10 times, I'm going to. And you know you got the handicap room because you got the old double people. Most rooms have a peephole here, but for the wheelchairs, there's one here. You get the double peephole. You got to learn how to use a cell phone. Everything I do is just figure it out. And I'm not saying that I'm Superman, but I'm saying this. Every person here has got to figure it out. Every person here has got the same amount of potential. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got to learn, how do I reach my potential? How do I keep pouring it out till there's nothing left? How do I reach my potential? That's what's so cool about education. Because we're helping people figure it out. And we're figuring it out. I'm not going to go into all this stuff. It's too bad it will change your life. All right. But I'm going to end with this. You'll never stop figuring it out. This is my last story. My man was on there. You know, you think you arrive. Like, you think you get to a certain point in your career, you go, I've got this figured out. And you never ever have it figured out. It's always elusive. And so I'm in my 60s now, and I thought I had life kind of figured out. I went and worked at a school in Wisconsin in 2015. And that's it. 15 bucks, pass the eye test, have a pulse, get a license. So my wife's with me. She's from out of state, I'm from out of state. I had just driven the largest U-Haul with a trailer for my car from Oregon to Wisconsin. I've done that. I've driven for over 40 years. I've never had an accident. I've had a license. I took my test when I was 16, like you guys. I got to Wisconsin, I walked up, I filled out the paperwork. I walked up, my wife was ahead, she got her license. Head coach was new from another state, he got his license. And I was the third one in line, and they said, we got a problem. And I said, what's the problem? And they said, and they kept looking at my license, because I have nothing on my license that says, other than wearing glasses, that I got any restriction. And they said, well, we're going to have to test you. I said, test me for what? I just drove a U-Haul through your town. You have kids? I couldn't kill you. You don't know that. I thought they were kidding. They said, so this guy, and the poor guy, he's just going, man, this part of my job, I hate, And he's just freaking out. He goes, let me talk to my supervisor. He goes, this guy, and I don't know if you've ever had this happen. I would think that for a lot of people in our society, they've had this happen, especially if you're African American or Hispanic. But I got the look where the guy looked at me. The guy said, hey, you got a guy with no hands. He got a license. I don't know what the deal is. And he did this. He went, test him. That pissed me off. That was an awful feeling. That's discrimination. I'm going, what do you mean test me? I said, what kind of test we got to do? I said, let's just go out in the car. I'll just show you. I just drove you. I wasn't careening around crazy. I thought they were kidding. I said, okay, who's your supervisor? So I go in, the guy goes, man, we got to test him. I go, he's going to test him. Like, we get to go to a racetrack and go really fast, and have some ice, I can take some breaks and skid, and then I'm up for that. I would love that. That'd be fun. They go, no, you just got to take the regular test. I said, like the 16-year-old kids? I said, why don't you just go walk out? I'll show you how I do it. And I'm getting madder and madder. I don't know if you've ever been discriminated. It's awful. It's an awful feeling. I go, whoa, what do you mean? My wife's a terrible driver. She's not like that. This guy. So I go, yeah. He goes, well, come back and take it. I said, I'm not missing another day of work. Let's do it right now. So this poor little, so I'm out there with a 16-year-old. How you doing, buddy? You study? Yeah. See you at the prom. Take me off. You never figure it out. Life never is figured out. So she goes, okay, turn the left blinker on. I turn the left blinker on. Turn it off. Turn the right blinker on. I'm getting mad. Turn it off. Honk the horn. She didn't say not to honk the horn. Like, I was waiting for the next command. I want the test. So then we get in the car, and she goes, okay, go. And I'm going, go where? Like, what? It still hadn't dawned on me. I'm just getting the test. Like a 16-year-old. So we go and turn left, turn right, turn park. And I go, what's that got going on? She goes, let's go back. I said, great. And I didn't pass the test because I went 29 in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. And I was over the white line at a stop sign. Which was smart because I couldn't see. But I said, you gotta be kidding me. When we're sick and he gripped the wheel, she took the test. And so I'm going, and they go, we're not going to know. I have to come back and take the test. I said, I will never take that test, and I will figure this out, and I will get my license. And then I walked out and said, now how am I going to do it? You got to figure it out. Because, you know, you got to fight for your rights, man. You got to fight. You got to fight for you to reach your potential. You just can't give it up. You can't just do a little bit and stop. Man, you're in. You're either all in or all out. You got to pour it out. And I said, okay, where's the next closest DMV? They said Oshkosh. I was in Wisconsin. Great time. Took me anywhere to go wrong. And well, I walked in, I took the eye test, thank you. Filled out the form, thank you. Gave it to the lady, said, I need a license out of state. She goes, ooh, okay. I said, I was just up in Appleton. They said I can't get one. I said, that's ridiculous. Don't you think so? I think so. She said, well, good. I'm in no laughing mood now. I walk into Green Bay, take the eye test, fill out the form, give my California license. The guy just keeps flipping it over. Goes, can't give you a license. I said, how come? He goes, I just can't. I said, how come? I said, well, you don't have names. I said, let me talk to your supervisor. Supervisor, now he was, again, I'm not here to body shame anyone, or say anything about obesity, but he was a big man. And he was telling me he couldn't give me a license because I needed to take a 2-hour test. Not the 16-year-old test, a 2-hour test. The third protocol. And I said, I point, I go, how about that little old lady over there? She can't see it, she can't see what the dashboard. You think? Test her. And what about that guy? His grip doesn't look too good. He might have arthritis. Test him. And what about that guy? And he's going, hey, that's not ridiculous. I said, what about you? I said, how do I make you a seatbelt? I said, we should probably test you too. That was going too far. I gotta be honest, that was going too far. But that's what happened, we did that. And he said, actually, this is over. So I drove on a California license for 3 months until I found a lawyer. And we sued the state of Wisconsin. And I said, we're going to court. And it was amazing how many people won them. That was amazing. Americans with Disabilities, useless. Useless. A lot of useless organizations for me, for that day, for that whatever. Figure it out. Figure it out. We called the Green Bay station, and we got the news guys involved. And they came down and filmed it. Said, this guy can't get a license. What kind of what goes on here? Now it becomes a big state deal. I'm getting phone calls from everywhere. This thing's getting huge. And we ended up going to court. And what really bothered me was the experts don't know everything. That's the other thing. Experts don't know everything. The experts are wrong about books. The experts are wrong about a lot of things. But they assumed that I needed something that I didn't need. That drove me nuts. And you got to figure out how do you solve these life problems. We all got them. And sometimes you got to go to war. Sometimes you got to battle. Sometimes you just got to accept it. I wasn't going to accept it. You know, they told me, a lot of times I would rest my arm on the inside of the steering wheel, but really your tricep is just as strong as your bicep. Most people use their biceps when grabbing the outside of the wheel. I'm just as strong on the inside, and they're saying, well, you can't drive a car. What do you mean you can't drive a car? Just a different way to do it. I would assume. So we went to court. And it was a great day for the little guy. Because when at the end they said, Mr. Speckman, David just beat the life, and this is my legacy right here. This is now the form in Wisconsin. If you go to Wisconsin, you say, are you missing a limb? And if you say yes, they say yes. Have you successfully passed the road test at this division? And you say yes, they can't ask you to do a test, and you get your license. Oh. Emancipation Proclamation, Bill of Rights, Wisconsin driving form, in that order. Greatest moment in American history. But here's the point. There was a guy that told me who was born with one hand, and he was having the same runaround. He's from Illinois. He said, I'm going to move out of Wisconsin. I'm not staying here. And the day after this court case, they filmed him walking in, and he got his license with this deal. And you know, to me, this whole thing about figure it out, this whole thing is that we have so much more potential to give ourselves credit for. And we have so much to give. And it never, ever, ever runs out. That's what hope is. And if you're hopeful, you have motivation. And so I hope you guys have a great week here. Are there any questions before I go? Yeah. Water? Maybe I didn't explain it well. The base is you. Water in the base is your potential. And we have unlimited potential. Now, if you want to know about how the water comes out, that's a little embarrassing because some of you must be science teachers. But the way you pour water, I'll tell you because you're teachers, you're good people. The way you pour water out of a vase is called gravity. You just pour it. That's the science behind it. But hey, I hope you guys have a great day. I have a book about that, figure it out. Of course, I didn't bring any.